So it's been great to see that every time I see the list of people who got it, there's more international names, and it's really, really nice to see that people are finally trying and even getting it.
Yeah, and that is so important to me, that this is a fund for everyone in Helsingborg, not a selective part of the city who has a background in specific departments or sectors. You don't have to have any experience to do this. You just have to have that new way of seeing the city.
Hi, and welcome to this next episode of Dialogue with This is Helsingborg. This is a video series where I talk to people from across the city running projects, initiatives, community engagement ideas, and innovation. I would have loved to do this in real life, but if anything 2020 has taught us, it is that to improvise. So I'm here sitting with my coffee, my tea, and I'm very excited to have this conversation with Alexandra Hvalgren from Visionsfonden. I'm sure most of you have already met her or know of her or have seen her. Alexandra is the idea coach and the facilitator at Visionsfonden, also called the Vision Fund. Thank you, Alexandra, for being here. Very excited for this conversation.
Thank you. That was an amazing presentation. I never had that nicely people talk about me. And I'm also drinking tea, so we have that in common too.
So my first question would be, what is vision in the Vision Fund?
That's a great question to start with. Okay, in 2012, a new journey began for the city of Helsingborg, because then everyone who works within the city, they were asked to do some kind of work about a greater vision for the city and its future. And in 2014, it was set. So we now have a vision. It's called Vision Helsingborg 2035. And if I could sum it up, it's about that the city should be more equal, it should be more creative, it should be more global, but it should also be more sustainable. It's huge, big words that could be, you can use them almost anywhere and anyhow, but it's a beautiful picture to see a city grow into a much more modern, sustainable way of handling all of the challenges that we are seeing today. So Visionsfonden has been active for almost 8 years now.
Wow.
Granted over 120 projects. And usually it's always two people working with the same project. So we had a lot of people passing by the Vision Fund and the vision.
Wow, I mean, This is Helsingborg is existent because of Vision Fund, and that's I have to thank you and the municipality for this journey that I've had in the last 1 year. But what kind of projects? Have you seen a change in the kind of projects that from the beginning, 8 years to now? What has that journey been like?
Absolutely. If it's something that we know, it is that the fund is really sensitive to trends and what's happening in the society. In 2014, it was a completely different wind in politics, and in the culture sector, and also when it comes to media and press, we were not using Instagram and Facebook like the way we're doing today. So in the beginning, it was mostly project that was very linked to culture, like theaters, documentary films, books, things like that. But as the fund grow and it's word of mouth, it's starting to be more innovative projects. It was a bit more helping refugees to build their own bike. It began to be a bit more about integration. We also seen that it has been a lot of project about, how do I say this in English? Psykisk ohälsa, it's called in Swedish. Mental health, thank you. Thank you. We saw that a lot in 2016, 2017, and last year was a big smash in the face for everyone. And then we opened up the fund towards, if you had a project that could help the corona crisis and somehow in Helsingborg, you can get funding in a lot shorter time that we usually do. And then we got amazing projects. For example, we have this mobile sound gallery that has not been, the project is not done yet because they're walking around in elderly homes, giving them, it's a mobile gallery to show sound, artistic sound music, which is a really, really small genre in the artistic field in Sweden. And they're doing that outside just to give them something. So it's all about projects that makes the society better and that is creative and is creating something new. That is the most important thing. And then it could be in any sector.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing when I look through the kind of projects that have happened over the last few years from, I mean, you've got tech and innovation, and on the other hand, like you said, there's culture, there's books, I remember there was, you had the skating tours in the city.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just so amazing. So what happens behind the scenes? So when you get projects, what is it like when, is it the same jury every time, or how does that work?
It's a bit of a complex story, so please hear me out. Okay, we get all of the applications. It's always very like, everyone's super excited and everyone's feeling some kind of, it's a very bubbly feeling to have all of those applications in your hand.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 different groups who are a part of the application process. First of all, we have about 7 people who all work with innovation in the city. They read everything from everyone.
Okay.
And we do a selection, which we think should go forward in the process. And then the next group, we have a representative from every different department from the city. So we have someone from the school, someone from the health department, but also someone from the city planning's office. And we basically make a selection that I present and pitch for the board. And then we sit and talk pros and cons with every project, who gives back the most, like what value has the different project, both when it comes to the money part, but also when it comes to we call it the innovation height, like how innovative is this? How creatively is it? And then I do the presentation for the board group, and the board group is all the directors of the city, so all of the bosses, and it's the city director who is the president of the group. So this is one of the most wonderful parts with Visionsfonden for me, is because everyone in the hierarchy knows about the projects.
Wow, so it's quite complex. It's not that easy as I thought, that you just apply and then there's a meeting.
No.
And done.
No, I think we're around 30 to 40 people who reads all the applications, and we usually get around 40 to 50 applications each time, and we have 3 sets of applications every year, because we have 3 deadlines a year, usually.
Wow, that's really something. And have you seen a trend or change in the number of internationals who are applying, and kind of like, are you getting more applications in English or other languages for that matter?
So happy you asking me these questions, because yes, and I worked really hard for this one. When I started 3-4 years ago, it was like this group of people who applied and got the money, and they all came from the kind of same background.
Right.
And so the first thing I did was to go to different event spaces, different communities, and I said, hi, this is my job. I would love to help people that has ideas, and community managers all over the city helped me find the right people that had really new perspectives. And then I went to all different parts of Helsingborg, not only the city, and then you find people that comes from other countries, from other regions, and has a unique perspective of looking at a city and at Helsingborg. And that is the best part of my job, to find you, to find people like you, who's like hidden diamonds, that just want to do stuff and have this amazing ambition and drive, and you just want to canalize that. And Visionsfonden is one way to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember I got my project was approved in 2019, and when we had the welcome lunch,
Yeah.
I was the only non-Swede on that table that time.
Okay.
And ever since, I've met so many people and I've chatted with so many people who have these ideas, and some of them are not even, that they're not going to get it. But I think the important part is to try and even to fail. I didn't get it in my first try.
No.
But I remember you telling me that, try again, you never know.
Visionsfonden and H22 are going to work in several projects until the summer of 2022. And that is for a lot of reasons, because, H22 this is me trying to explain a very complex thing.
I know.
But H22, it's a journey for the city to become even more innovative and creative than we already are in all the different parts of the city. It's also city fair that we are going to have in the city during the summer of 2022. And to show off with a city fair is to show off things. And Visionsfonden is a method when it comes to innovative and creative processes together with the inhabitants of a city. And we've had this method for 7 to 8 years. So it's really like we have great results. We can show that it works, and we can show what we are still working on, but we have tried it a lot and we have learned so much through that process. This is a perfect example to show the world that you can work like this. We're the only fund like this in Sweden. There's no other, because all of the other funds, they're either they're culture funds or they're innovative funds or integrational, or there's nothing that is everything.
Yeah.
We're going to do a project called Kids Edition, when we are reaching out to all of the organizations and associations in the city that works with kids and youth. And we say, hi, would you like to help us do some work about the vision? So we are offering, you still have to put in an application, but you can get 5,000 kronor to do a prototype of how the city will look like, feel like, smell like, how you can fall in love in 2035. You can do whatever, but it has to be about the city. You have to build a prototype, and it has to be about 2035. And now it even gets more complex. I am going to do a hackathon based on the different prototypes. So we're going to see, what does kids and the youth of Helsingborg, how do they see 2035? We will probably see, this is how they see how we're going to proceed culture. This is how they see how we're going to be sustainable. And I'm going to create different challenges in these different departments in trends that we can see in the prototypes. And we are going to give, during those 35 days, the city fair we are going to grant the entire budget for 1 year. During the hackathon. So we're going to give out 1 million kronor to projects in the hackathon.
Exciting.
Yes. And this is how it all comes together. Denmark. Across the ocean of Helsingborg is Helsingør. In Helsingør, there is an organization that is a part of the municipality, kommunen, that is called Catch. And Catch is the Center for Design and Tech in Helsingør, but also the rest of Denmark. And I ran into this organization 1 year ago, and we fell in love. And we said that we would love to do something towards the city fair. We see that a lot of entrepreneurs in the culture sector in Sweden and in Denmark, they don't get contacts in the other country. They don't get funding, they don't get jobs, they don't get other contacts. They stay in their community, in their country where they're from. But they're still so close. I mean, it takes 20 minutes with a boat. So we thought about, how can we make the artistic community in Helsingør and Helsingborg come together? Well, we can do a project with them. So we are going to have an open call, which is when you open up for applications, to designers, artists, entrepreneurs, programmers that would love to do a project, an installation, a prototype towards the summer of 2022. And this prototype has to have an artistic value, but it also has to have some kind of IoT. And the project has to have some kind of link between the different countries. So the project is that the artists, the programmers, they're going to create some kind of team. We're going to have one Swedish team and one Danish team. And those teams are going to meet. We're going to have workshops with them where we teach them all the newest technology knowledge in this field. And they are going to get to know each other. They're going to know about the different communities. So it's not only that they're going to create a prototype, they're also going to get to know each other and to do research together.
Very exciting. I mean, I'm considering that, one would think that 2020 and with everything that's been happening, there's not much happening in the city, but with Visionsfonden, it just seems complete opposite. There's too much.
Well, it's crazy because, I mean,
amazing.
Okay, this tells a lot about who I am as a person.
Yes, it does.
I got back from maternity leave January last year. Corona hit in March. During those 3 months, I managed to start all of this. So
well done.
Thank you. So I've just been lucky as well to work with the right people. And I always say that in coaching towards applicants of Visionsfonden, you have to make new contacts, you have to be brave, but you also have to have the right people in your team if you need a team, because you should never be alone in hard decisions.
Absolutely, that's good advice.
Okay, first of all, book a coaching session with me. You can do that on our website. It's super duper easy. You can write me on Facebook or Instagram. We'll meet. You can do a phone call or you can do a video session. It's super easy breezy, and I'm super nice. So it will be fun. And in those coaching sessions, I give feedback towards the idea, but also the process, how you would like to get to the actual application. But I also read drafts of applications and get back with feedback. So I do a lot. I can help a lot. I've read a lot of drafts. And my second advice is to, when you start thinking about your Visionsfonden project, start with thinking about, okay, this is the dream. This is what I would like to do. Like, dream as big as you can. And then after that, you take a break for 30 minutes. And then you think, how can I do a test version of that huge dream? And then the test version is your Visionsfonden project. Because we love to test new things. Nice. We love to do small scale project that you later on could get funding from somewhere else, maybe even inside of the city or in another fund. We love to help people to get the first push to start their own company or to start a new initiative in the culture sector that keeps on going. Those two, if you do that, you will get very far.
Great advice. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Alexandra. This was really nice.
Thank you.
I'm hoping
I talk a lot.
No, so do I. That's great. But I'm really looking forward to, things opening up and for us to do more in real life and collaborate at some point.
When it's not Corona, I usually sit at Mind Park, for example, once a week with you can just come by, swing by, have coaching with me. Now I can do that. And that's why we have this video coaching. So usually I'm very, very easy to get a hold of. So let's hope that we can do that in the fall, perhaps.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Until then, I'll be here in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
Thanks for the chat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.